James Clayton Dobson Jr., 1936 to 2025, was an American evangelical Christian psychologist, author, and media figure who became one of the most influential leaders of the religious right. Though never ordained as a minister, he was described by the New York Times as the nation's most influential evangelical leader, and by Slate as a successor to Jerry Falwell and Pat Robertson. Dobson was best known as the founder of Focus on the Family, FotF, which he led from 1977 until 2010. Under his direction, the ministry grew into a global multimedia empire with radio programs, magazines, videos, and youth initiatives. Its flagship radio program reached an estimated 220 million people daily in 164 countries and was broadcast in over a dozen languages. Focus on the Family also aired on about 60 U.S. television stations. After leaving the organization, Dobson launched Family Talk, another radio ministry that carried forward his views on family and morality. A central theme of Dobson's work was the defense of what he called family values. He believed heterosexual marriage, traditional gender roles, and biblical authority were essential to a stable society. He positioned himself against feminism and LGBTQ rights, framing cultural debates as a civil war of values. Through his books, broadcasts, and affiliated organizations, including the Family Research Council, 1981, Family Policy Alliance, 2004, and the Dr. James Dobson Family Institute, 2010, he sought to mobilize conservative Christians politically and socially. Dobson was born in Shreveport, Louisiana, in 1936, into a long line of Nazarene ministers. Religion shaped his childhood deeply. He claimed to have committed himself to Jesus at age 3. His parents were traveling evangelists, and his strict upbringing included corporal punishment, which Dobson later defended in his writings. As a teenager, he was rebellious but developed a strong bond with his father. He studied psychology at Pasadena College, now Point Loma Nazarene University, where he also met his wife, Shirley Deer. He earned a doctorate in psychology from the University of Southern California, USC, in 1967. That same year, he joined the USC School of Medicine as Associate Clinical Professor of Pediatrics, serving for 14 years while also working at the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles. His exposure to youth during the turbulent 1960s convinced him that the family was under threat from cultural upheaval. Dobson's career breakthrough came with his 1970 book Dare to Discipline, which promoted strong parental authority and the use of corporal punishment. He argued that children were inherently sinful and that rejection of authority was the root of societal problems. The book's success established him as a leading voice on Christian parenting. In the 1970s, he began giving lectures and distributing video recordings, notably Where's Dad?, which highlighted the dangers of absent fathers and reportedly reached 100 million viewers. He resigned from the American Psychological Association in 1973 after it declassified homosexuality as a mental disorder. By 1977, Dobson formally launched Focus on the Family, building it into a $100 million a year organization by the mid-1990s. Dobson was deeply involved in U.S. cultural and political debates. In 1979 to 80, he mobilized tens of thousands of supporters to pressure President Jimmy Carter into including him in the White House Conference on Families. By the 1980s, he was cultivating ties with conservative politicians, including Ronald Reagan. Through Focus on the Family and its affiliates, Dobson campaigned vigorously against abortion and LGBTQ rights. In 1998, FotF established Love One Out, a program promoting conversion therapy. Dobson helped coordinate efforts to pass state constitutional amendments banning same-sex marriage, playing a key role in the early 2000s culture wars. Though he stepped down as president of FotF in 2003 and resigned from its board in 2009, Dobson remained influential. His successor, Jim Daly, pursued a softer approach, while Dobson intensified his hardline lobbying through the Family Policy Alliance and the Dr. James Dobson Family Institute. Dobson's career was not without controversy. He faced criticism for his defense of corporal punishment, for advocating purity culture, and for his rejection of LGBTQ rights. In 1989, his interview with serial killer Ted Bundy, conducted the day before Bundy's execution, was widely debated. Bundy claimed pornography had shaped his violent fantasies, and Dobson used the tapes to raise over $1 million for anti-pornography and anti-abortion groups. Critics accused him of exploiting the situation. Dobson also opposed international AIDS relief efforts that distributed condoms, attacking programs like PEPFAR as immoral. Even in later years, he continued to claim such initiatives funded abortion, despite evidence to the contrary. In 2010, Dobson founded the Dr. James Dobson Family Institute, continuing to broadcast through his Family Talk program. He often linked social issues such as school shootings to what he described as the erosion of family and morality by feminism and LGBTQ activism. He remained active into his late 80s, appearing frequently on Fox News and other conservative outlets. Dobson married Shirley Deer in 1960, and they had 2 children. His son Ryan later took over some youth-oriented publications. His commitment to purity culture was personal as well as public. He famously gave his daughter a golden key necklace when she pledged sexual abstinence at age 10. James Dobson died at his home in Colorado Springs on August 21, 2025, at age 89. He left behind a vast media empire and a political network that reshaped American evangelicalism and conservative politics. To supporters, he was a defender of biblical truth and the traditional family. To critics, he was a polarizing figure who promoted intolerance under the banner of faith. James Dobson, a psychologist, evangelical leader, and founder of Focus on the Family, became one of the most influential voices in American conservative Christianity, shaping debates on family, marriage, education, and morality. Over the course of his career, he received multiple awards and recognition for his work. In 1982, the National Association of Evangelicals named him Layman of the Year. 5 years later, Child Help USA honored him as the Children's Friend for his advocacy against child abuse. And in 1988, the California Psychological Association gave him its Humanitarian Award. In 2005, Indiana Wesleyan University awarded him his 16th honorary doctorate and inducted him into its Society of World Changers. 3 years later, Focus on the Family was placed in the National Radio Hall of Fame, though the decision was controversial due to Dobson's conservative positions, particularly regarding LGBTQ issues. Dobson became known for his staunch defense of traditional marriage, describing it as a lifelong union. And with that, thanks for watching, share with friends, and please subscribe for more videos.